Hi, it's Dr. Laura Schwint.
Hi, I'm Dr. Karen Tyndall.
Welcome inside the Mint Door.
While success may seem evident on the surface, many practices grapple with challenges and hurdles. Could be communication issues, it could be team conflict, burnout, and a sense of unfulfillment. And when we find these issues in practices, it's usually because their well-being is unchecked.
Patients, when they come to your practice, they want good quality dentistry, that's a given. But they also want to enjoy the entire process. They want to feel good and welcomed into a calm, caring atmosphere from the minute that they walk in until the minute they leave. And when the dental team is not unified or energized, it really taints this patient experience. And that really leads to patients not feeling as excited about recommending your practice or referring friends and family. This is the key that separates a successful practice from a truly flourishing practice.
When dentists feel that their practice isn't meeting their expectations, they often look outwardly and turn to well-known solutions. Maybe a practice consultant, it may be taking more CE, investing in new equipment, or even learning new procedures. However, these aren't the things that are going to solve their problem.
When they're looking outwardly and overlooking the well-being of themselves, their team, the practice, oftentimes what this does is lead to resistance and lack of implementation of those external sources that they invested in. And so it's sort of like a Band-Aid, putting that Band-Aid on a gaping wound of dysfunction, where the Band-Aid may hold for a little while, but eventually the adhesive wears off and you're back to where you started. Dentists and team members alike have a lot of roles and responsibilities. And if you imagine each of those roles and responsibilities like a stack of plates, everyone on your team is carrying around a huge stack of plates every day. And in order to balance that stack of plates, that base plate, the bottom plate, needs to be the strongest and most stable. And that plate is your well-being. So when the base plate is not stable, it's more likely that when you need to add plates, roles, responsibilities, you will feel resistant because you'll be worried that you're going to drop those plates. So you might not adopt those new roles and responsibilities. Or you may take them on and then end up dropping plates or even dropping all of them.
And a great example of this is we work with a hygienist at one of our practices. She was going through a divorce, which, as we all can appreciate, is an extremely stressful life event to go through. This lady is a high achiever. She thought happily, take on more and more plates because that was just in her nature. However, through coaching, she understood and learned that base plate of her well-being was so important. And she was able to prioritize that. The key to it for her was understanding that she didn't have to take any more plates on. From that point on, she had a much more successful job as a hygienist and a much happier life because she was able to juggle these plates, whereas before she would have felt like she was about to drop them.
So when a dentist or a dental office invests in those well-known outward resources like consultants and continuing education and equipment and new procedures, they are really hoping for a return on their investment, an ROI. But when the well-being of the practice or the people in the practice is not being looked after, oftentimes what happens with that resistance is they end up having what we call LOB, which is loss on burnout. We've both had firsthand experience with this and talked to many other people that have had firsthand experience with this. In fact, there was a time in my practice when I was excited to hire a practice consultant because my practice, I felt, could be better. However, I hadn't been looking after the well-being of the practice or the people in it, and so I was met with resistance from my team, blank stares, and complete lack of enthusiasm.
It makes me think back to when I was an associate and my practice owner, we were an orthodontic practice, he would go to meetings and he would come back super excited about another new bracket system. And I would collectively probably actually really hear the team members audibly groan when he would tell everybody that there was a new system coming into the practice. And it was a reaction of, oh gosh, another one, that's going to end up in the drawer. They didn't have any enthusiasm to implement his idea. So it's really easy to see it from both ways.
We've even heard that team members have made bets as far as how long can they resist until they'll just forget about it and we'll go back to doing things the old way. And the interesting thing is it goes both ways. For instance, there was a time when I was in the burnout continuum and I had a very valued team member go to a continuing education. She came back super excited about a new system that she wanted to implement in our practice. And because of where I was completely resistant and I did not facilitate implementing that system at all. And, hindsight, I probably contributed a little bit to her lack of fulfillment in her job because of it. The first thing we do is we come in and we make sure and restore the stability of that bottom plate of well-being. And once we've been able to do that, then we use the proven formula of our MINT method program. And that unlocks the magic within each team member of your practice and brings success and flourishing from the inside out.
We are really creating a harmonious environment for the practice, which will leave a lasting impression on both the patients and your team members. It's really about creating loyalty and driving patient referrals because they want to come back to the practice.
And when we create that, it really adds to the fulfillment of every member of your team so that they love coming to work, and that is joyful. So it's like we said before, when your team isn't energized and unified, it can taint the patient experience, and patients then don't feel that energy that makes them want to refer friends and family.
Partnering with the Mint Door creates whole practice well-being, and we strive to ensure that our practices are able to fully understand the importance of that bottom plate of well-being being in place.
As dental professionals, you went into this community to help people. And when you focus on your practice and your team's well-being, you actually increase the number of people that you can help exponentially because you inspire your team to go out and help more people. And so it's just a win-win for everyone.
At the Mint Door, we understand the challenges that dental professionals face because we are dentists. We have first-hand experience of what it is like to be in a dental practice, and because of that, we have a deep level of empathy, compassion, and understanding for knowing what our clients are going through.
As professional life coaches, we excel in listening and giving our clients unwavering support as they work through challenges or work towards goals and visions and dreams.
Well, we have so many options of how people can work with us, and they can all be tailor-made to the individual practice. We have virtual one-to-one coaching, on-demand video sessions, we have group coaching, and also workshops that can take place virtually and in person.